Welcome back, everyone. Guess what? We're going to do another comparison between the iPhone 12 and the iPhone XR in 2021 and see which one is worth your money. Now, I will definitely tell you without a doubt, if you have all the money in the world, picking up the iPhone 12 is the better way to go. It's going to get you a better phone. I mean, it just has so much more capability and it's going to last you longer than the iPhone XR. But I will tell you, the XR, from what I've seen, without a doubt, may be the better deal. I think this phone is still a great phone. It has so much capability. I'm such a huge fan of it. And I really do think, like I said, if you need a phone that's still going to last you for a couple of years and you're on a budget, the XR is a tremendous phone, in my opinion. You can pick up both of these in the links down below. You can help support the channel at the same time. Now, looking on the front, you can pretty much see that they have the same thing going on. Nothing super crazy. 6.1-inch panels. The iPhone 12 does have that OLED display, where the iPhone XR has that IPS panel. So that's pretty much the biggest difference, but both have Face ID, both have notches. There really isn't that big of a difference when it comes down to that. And in some ways, I think the iPhone XR's panel is better. Most ways, I think the iPhone 12's panel is better though. Lightning ports on the bottom. Flat side on the iPhone 12, where the iPhone XR has this curved sides. Definitely not a big deal, but again, it's something that, some people may prefer one or the other. I'm totally okay with both, but I do like the flat sides for sure. And on the back, glass backs, which look very good still. Dual camera setup on the iPhone 12, single camera setup on the iPhone XR. Apple logos are a little bit of a different placement as well. And I think that's really pretty much it. Both have wireless charging. The iPhone 12 does have that MagSafe capability right here though, where the iPhone XR has standard wireless charging, which I would recommend people not even to wirelessly charge their phone anymore, to be honest. And that's really pretty much it. Both of them feel really good in the hand. Neither of them feel cheap. And I'm a fan of both of these, in my opinion. So in terms of the outside, that pretty much covers it. Now we might as well hit on the software aspect between both phones. Now, like I mentioned before, both phones are going to be supported for quite a bit of time. The iPhone 12 more so, though that's the biggest difference. The iPhone 12 is going to be getting more software updates for a longer period of time than the iPhone XR. So that's the biggest thing to keep in mind. But there's been times where older phones get supported a lot, for the newer phones, whatever that means. You look at the iPhone 6s, you look at the iPhone 6 and the 5s. So these phones are going to be supported for quite a bit of time, and I'm totally cool with that. But there's still not going to be a chance where the XR is outliving the iPhone 12. So the iPhone 12 has a higher chance there. So if you're trying to get the phone that's going to last you the longest, the iPhone 12 is definitely the way to go. But one thing I've seen, which kind of changed with iOS 14, is the battery life. I found that the iPhone XR actually has given me better battery life than the iPhone 12. So that may be something that's worthwhile for you to kind of check out. I think personally, right now the iPhone 12 is better because iOS 14 is more optimized for this phone. But there was a time the iPhone XR was giving me much better battery life. And I do think standby time is probably better on the iPhone XR, which is pretty crazy to say. So in terms of that, that pretty much covers that up in the, kind of software and battery standpoint. Now let's go ahead and do a speed comparison between both of these phones. Now the iPhone 12 has that Apple A14 Bionic chip inside of it with 4 gigabytes of RAM, where the iPhone XR has that Apple A12 Bionic chip inside of it with 3 gigs of RAM. So let's go and see which one is the faster one between both of these. Okay, there we go. All the apps are cleared out in the background, as you guys can see. Let's get started. Let's do phone calls. 3, 2, 1. The 12 is definitely better, which the 12 is on the left, XR is on the right. Let's do music. 3, 2, 1. And it does look like they were on different panels, so we'll just kind of have to let this one slide. I hate when that happens. Let's go and do something like settings, which is a simple app. 3, 2, 1. And even with settings, it's faster on the iPhone 12, which is pretty crazy. The animations are going to be roughly around the same though. App Store's 3, 2, 1. And surprisingly, the iPhone XR is faster than the iPhone 12 right there, which is pretty crazy. Now, the iPhone XR is on iOS 15, so keep that in mind. So maybe there's a big speed difference with iOS 15 and iOS 14. Who knows? I didn't think there was going to be this big of a difference. Camera, 3, 2, 1. And it does look like the iPhone 12 was a little bit faster there. Photos, 3, 2, 1. Again, the iPhone 12 is a little bit faster there. Hopping out of this one, we can always do these third-party apps that we have a ton of them on this phone. Let's do Temple Run 2, 3, 2, 1. And you can kind of see that the iPhone 12 does look like, it's definitely a little bit faster. And the iPhone XR is a little bit slower there. Definitely not a big deal. You can see the iPhone 12 did finish a lot sooner than the iPhone XR. The XR finally got into it. So hopping out of this one, let's do Dropbox, 3, 2, 1. The 12 is faster. iPhone XR is a little bit behind. Quizlet, 3, 2, 1. 12 again is the faster one. XR a bit behind. Thank you, 3, 2, 1. And again, 12 is the faster one. And the iPhone 10 are a little bit behind, more behind than I thought it would be. You can kind of see the same thing going on here. Hopping out of this one, let's do stack 3, 2, 1. And it does look like 12 was going to be the faster one. Netflix 3, 2, 1. Again, 12 is the faster one there. Hopping out of this one, Snake versus Blocks 3, 2, 1. And 12 is faster. 10 are behind, like we mentioned it before. No, surprise there. Fruit Ninja 3, 2, 1. And again, iPhone 12 seems to be the faster one again, and the iPhone 10R is a bit behind, and no surprise there. I think this is what's going to happen throughout, however many speed comparisons we would do. The iPhone 12 is going to consistently be the faster one. I thought at first the iPhone 10R was going to start catching up and be a lot more faster. That is not the case. The iPhone 12 is definitely the faster one between these two. So in terms of speed, if you're trying to get one just in terms of a speed aspect, the iPhone 12 is a better way to go for sure. So let's go and hit on the cameras. Now on the back, like we mentioned before, single camera setup on the iPhone 10R and a dual camera setup on the iPhone 12. Now 12 megapixel sensors for all these sensors. I've always said that the iPhone 10R's camera is much better than people thought, including myself, for a single camera lens. I just think that with the iPhone 12, with that additional sensor, it just, adds that much more capability, and I'm that much more of a fan of the iPhone 12's camera. I think the iPhone 10R's camera is still good and everything, but again, when you have, the extra ultra-wide sensor, that definitely adds a lot more capability. But even on the front, the iPhone 10R has, they both have single camera setups, but you can only do 1080p at 60 on the front of the iPhone 10R. With the iPhone 12, you can actually go up to 4K at 60. So that's another pretty big advantage, that you have that capability on the iPhone 12 that you don't have on the iPhone 10R. So definitely in terms of a camera comparison standpoint, the iPhone 12 is definitely the better way to go. The iPhone 10R is still good, but the 12 is definitely the one I would recommend doing. So to kind of sum up this video and to answer the question, should you go and buy an iPhone 12 or should you buy an iPhone 10R? Well, like we just mentioned for the last 35 minutes, yes, the iPhone 10R is a great phone, but the iPhone 12 is the better way to go. I would much rather recommend people to buy this specific phone than the iPhone 10R. And the main reason for that is because of the capability of the phone. I mean, we just demonstrated how much faster the iPhone 12 is over the iPhone 10R and all these other things. And I think if I were you, I would 100% recommend buying an iPhone 12. Like I mentioned, I think the iPhone 10R is a great phone. I think this one has a lot of capability, and for the price tag, it's great. For $499 brand new, which is kind of expensive, you should pick it up in the used market for much cheaper. This is a tremendous phone. It's lacking very little. I think if you're not like some sort of high demand user, like you don't need the craziest amount of performance or the craziest amount of specs or something, the 10R is still a beautiful phone. And even compared to something like an iPhone 12, it handles its own. It handles its own. It's just such a good phone in my opinion. It just so happens that the iPhone 12 is the better way to go. There's a lot more going for it. Better phone, better looking, his flat sides, better battery life kind of right now, faster performance, longer supported phone. But the 10R, like if the 12 was a 10 out of 10, the iPhone 10R is easily like an 8.5 out of 10. Maybe the only downside with the iPhone 12 really, nails it in is probably the camera. Other than that, they're pretty similar, and I would get by with either or. So that's pretty much it. If you guys have any other questions or anything, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly, everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.